It never occurred to me or my parents that being female, being a woman of color had anything to do with whether or not I could do this. Never even came up as a conversation. When I said I wanted to be an aerospace engineer, they said, great, let's go. What do we got to do to get you there? Other girls and people who are considering going into the field of engineering that say, well, I'm not like everybody else. I don't do equations for fun on the weekends. I'm not building Legos, and I'm not taking things apart. I didn't either. I really didn't. I still love engineering. I think it's fascinating. I've been doing this now for 3.5 decades. It still inspires me every day. I had some counselors that said, we weren't sure this is the right field for you. This is going to be tough. Are you sure you want to do this? Maybe think of something different that's easier. And even when I said I wanted to go to Purdue, they were like, that's a really hard school. You think you're going to get in? And even if you did get in, you think you're going to finish? And so I did have that. And it was discouraging, to be honest with you. But my parents were there, and they were always so encouraging. And they just said, keep pressing. I get here, oh my goodness, have mercy. Freshman year was a wake-up call. I was scared to death. I actually was not sure I could make it, honestly. There were times I just cried. So I learned to, wipe the tears off, get back in the game, and I think that builds some grit in you, right? At some point, you were like, I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do this, but I'm gonna try it anyway. And I'm gonna work hard at it and give it everything I've got. And even if it doesn't work out, I can say, I gave it everything I had. I found out about the co-op program walking through the Stewart Center. I chose NASA Langley because it was 3 hours from where I grew up, so it was a lot closer. My first term, like many students, I was just scared. Just straight up like, wow, I'm at NASA and I'm a sophomore. Wow. I was just hoping not to screw something up. I just wanted to learn and experience this. I really didn't know what the next steps would be, honestly. I was considering everything at that moment, and I was just open to learning. My career at NASA opened up a ton of doors and gave me many different experiences that were really, really fun, and each one had me learn new things and grow. If you're not doing something that scares you occasionally, you are not striving hard enough. I kept searching and asking questions, and then being open to experiences that were new. Very often a new experience can be a little scary, for sure. And so just having an open heart and mind to trying something new and not being afraid of failure. My first 8 years was testing in a very large wind tunnel, super fun, huge wind tunnel models, multi-million-dollar models. Then I got a call from some NATO officials in Portugal and had the opportunity to go to Europe and teach short courses. I had never taught a short course at that point. I didn't have, my master's was not complete at that point. So that was new to me. And then soon after that, I applied for an interview to become a project manager, and I was really scared. Can I do this? And I got the job, and I was like, wow, right? This was a huge project. Then I had a chance to become a DARPA technical agent, and I worked as a DARPA agent for a few years, doing some very high-risk flight test programs with them. And so these just continued to open doors. And I had an opportunity to go to the National Science Foundation for a year. And then even mid-career, after being in NSF for a year, I went back to school. It had been 10 years since my master's was over, and I felt called to go back to school. This was a hard decision for sure. At the time, I was managing large programs, tens of millions of dollar programs. To go back to school again, to get my doctorate, wow, it took a moment. By then I was a mom, I had a wonderful child. Could I do this? And after lots of time to think about it, I decided to go for it. And that was amazing, and it was game-changing, and really set me on another new career path that opened up doors I didn't even know were available. The last big position I had at NASA, which is the one that I stayed at for the last 10 years of my career, and that was serving as NASA's Senior Technical Executive for Complex Systems Design, where I brought in fields that were outside of engineering to engineering and integrated those to really make aerospace projects and products better. After being at NASA for 33 plus years, I felt it was time to change. And so just last year, I decided to retire early from my work at NASA, and I started my own consulting company, and called King's Q Design. To me, this is trying another opportunity as well, opening new doors, working with new clients, and having opportunities to try some new things and learn and grow and to have impact. One of the things I've learned is the career pivots and changes have been wonderful. And had I not gone back to school, for example, mid-career, I would never have been able to do the things I did in the last 15 years of my career at all. And I came to recognize those moments of being scared were pretty coincident with amazing things happening, ultimately. I learned to feel the fear and do it anyway. I learned to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I would encourage students to try new things while you're in school and when you're out of school, and to look at sometimes those things are not going to pan out. And don't look at the things that don't pan out as, well, that was a bad idea. Maybe it was just an opportunity to learn.